Hi friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette, and today I have another recommendations video for you, and this time it is books with law enforcement characters in them. This is one of the August prompts for my Christian fiction bingo for 2026. And so one of the August ones is law enforcement character. The other one for August is title in capitals. So I will tell you some of these you could double up on them. This is also a prompt for the August readathon that I am co-hosting with Caitlyn from Chronicles of Book Nerd called Keep Me in Suspense Readathon. And so we're going to go through these quickly to talk about them. Now, not every book is suspense that I'm going to talk about. So the first 8 books are from other genres. So if you don't read suspense, keep watching because you might find one that's not a suspense book that you might be interested in. And the first one is Sandpiper Cove by Irene Hannon. This is book 3 in the Hope Harbor series, but you do not have to read this series in order. They just all take place in Hope Harbor. And in this one, we are following a police chief. So that is our law enforcement character. And then the second character is an ex-con. And how do these connect? What happens with these two people? Keep reading to find out. The next book is While the City Sleeps by Elizabeth Camden. This is book 1 of the Women of Midtown series, set during World War I, or the beginning of World War I. In New York City, we are following a dentist and a police officer. And this has mystery as well as romance building throughout it. It was really interesting. I highly recommend it. The next book is also historical fiction, but it is a dual timeline. It takes place in 1944 and 1979, and that is The Women of Oak Ridge by Michelle Shocklee. Now, the law enforcement character in this is a police officer, and he's very behind the scenes a bit. Like, he's not one of the main characters because this follows 2 main female characters, but he does play a role. However, his police job doesn't really play a role in the story. That just happens to be what he does. Highly recommend this. This takes place in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and it's really focusing on the K-25. Is that what it was called? I think it was the K-25 factory where they helped make the atomic bomb at the end of World War II. And so, yeah, it was really interesting to learn about that. The next one is another dual timeline story. And again, the police officer, he's a police detective, he's not one of the main characters, but he does play a role in this story. And that is In Spotlight and Shadow by Rachel Scott McDaniel. This takes place in Pittsburgh, I want to say. Or is it Philadelphia? No, it's Pittsburgh. I was right the first time. And so we have present day and then a century earlier. And there is part of the Doors to the Past series. It is definitely a mystery of how do the two connect, what is going on. Somebody gets accused of stealing some jewels. Did they steal them? What happens? Really enjoyed this one. Next one is historical fiction, The Hope of Azure Springs by Rachel Fordham. This one features a sheriff. And this one he's securing justice for the wayfish and injured M. Is just part of his job. Because M, our main character, kind of turns up out of nowhere. And where did she come from? What happened? Really enjoyed this one. Then we've got 2 Karen Witemeyers, and the first one is Taming Lady Temperance. And this is book 1 of the Secret Society of Spinsters. Secret Society of Spinster Sisterhood? It's a long series name, and I can't remember it offhand. I just read this one in April. It was 5 stars, and the male main character is a sheriff. So there's your law enforcement character. The female is trying to shut down the local bar during Prohibition, or she wants Prohibition to keep going kind of thing. And he's kind of torn between seeking justice and being drawn to the woman. Then the other one is Fairest of Heart by Karen Witemeyer. It is book 1 of the Texas Ever After series. And in this one, we meet a Texas Ranger who happens to be the grandson, I think, of one of the 7 grandpas that make an appearance in this, who are trying to help Penelope out. Is it Penelope? Oh, I was right. Who are trying to help Penelope out of the situation that she is caught up in. Really enjoyed this one. It was really fun. It's kind of a take on Snow White. And the last historical fiction features the Secret Service, and that is A Gilded Lady by Elizabeth Camden. This is book 2 of the Spice Glory, Hope and Glory. Book 1 is The Spice King. The Hope and Glory series, and we are following Carolyn, who is the personal secretary to the First Lady, and then the male main character is the Secret Service agent to the president. And we follow these two with like stuff that is going on during this time period, because we are set in early 1900s. Exactly 1900. Early 1900s, I said. Yeah, so it was really interesting. And this is definitely my favorite of the series. It's so funny because I did not like Caroline in... Caroline? It is Caroline. In book 1, but I absolutely loved her in this book. Like, she totally turned around for me. Okay, now let's go to suspense, because I have to talk suspense. So we have more secret special agents. Is that what they're called? Secret Service special agents. And that is the Defend and Protect. Wow, what is the series name? The Defend and Protect series by Lynn H. Blackburn. Book 1 is Unknown Threat. And when this one opens, special agents are being targeted and a number are killed, others are injured. What is going on? High action from the beginning. This was a 5-star read for me. Then we have Among the Innocent by Mary Alford. We are following a police chief and a police officer as they start looking into crimes that are happening on an Amish farm and kind of what's going to happen. And then we find out that the police officer, the female, has a history with the farm and possibly the people that are targeting, the person that is targeting the community, and now is targeting her. Like, I absolutely love this one. I devoured this book. Okay, my phone rang and I had to answer it. Okay, where was I? Did I talk about this book? I don't think I did. Okay, so Standoff by Patricia Bradley is book 1 in the Natchez. I think that's how you say it. Jamie, did I say it right? I had to go back and listen to her message that she sent me on how to say it, and now I'm like, now I'm thrown off because of the phone call. It is book 1 in the Natchez Trace Park Rangers, and we are following park rangers. That is law enforcement, right? Yes, they're enforcing the law for the parks. And at this one, we are following a female character who is basically following in her father's footsteps. Her father gets murdered right at the very beginning of the book. And then they're trying to figure out what happened, who's behind it, and is somebody else targeting somebody else. Like, yeah, a lot of action. Then we have Point of Danger by Irene Hannon. We are following a law enforcement officer or a detective who gets called when a radio show host gets a package left on their doorstep that could possibly be a bomb. And so we're following the detective trying to figure out what's going on, trying to work with this radio host. And this one kept me guessing. The reveal at the end, I was like, I had no idea. Okay, 3 more. Then we have A Distant Shore by Karen Kingsbury. The male main character is an FBI agent who is trying to stop a human trafficking ring. Then we are following a female who is caught up in the human trafficking ring. And how do they get out of this? Can the FBI agents and the team stop what's going on? I really enjoyed this. This was my very first Karen Kingsbury read. It's very different than other books she writes, but I really enjoyed it. The Killing Tide by Dani Pettrey. This is book 1 in the Coastal Guardians series, and the law enforcement officers in this are Coast Guard officers. And so again, they're enforcing the law on the water. And it says, a corpse that only leads to secrets. An old flame with danger written all over her. Things are about to get very complicated. And the last book is The Silver Shadow by Liz Tolsma. This is historical suspense set in Denver, 1900. And the law enforcement character is a police officer. Somebody is targeting women on the streets of Denver, and they're trying to figure out how to stop them. Again, kind of creepy, really edge of the suspense. And with this True Color series, this is fiction based on true events. So events that actually happened but don't seem like they are true. And so they sound fictional. And then a fiction story has been written based on those true events. Really unique concept, and wow, there is some really sad and scary stuff that has happened. And yeah, I really enjoy the ones I've read in this series. So that is all the recommendations I have for books with law enforcement characters in them. Now, what could I possibly read for this? They are going to be suspense, my 3 possibilities. We have Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell. This is, how does a woman protect herself from an enemy she can't see? So we've got a law school graduate who is a survivor. She deals with her mother's death, mounting student debt, dwindling job opportunities, an abusive boyfriend, and a rare neurological condition that prevents her from recognizing human faces. But witnessing a murder might be the crisis she can't overcome. The killer has every advantage. Though Whitney saw him, she has no idea what he looks like. He knows where she lives and works. He anticipates her every move. Worst of all, he's hiding in plain sight and believes she has information he needs. Information worth killing for again. And then so we have a detective get involved in this. Then we have Nightfall by Nancy Mehl. This is book 1 of the Quantico Files series. And yes, I was like, where's my law enforcement? It's got an FBI. Quantico, that is FBI, right? Right? I think so. I was thinking Quantico was something with the Army, Navy, like the military. But no, I think that's FBI. And so finally free of her troubled upbringing, Alex is able to live out her childhood dream of working for the FBI. But soon after, she becomes a member of the FBI's elite behavioral analyst unit. Authorities in Missouri contact them about bodies found on freight trains, all killed in the same way. What? And then the last book is Break of Day by Colleen Coble. This is book 3 in the Annie Pedersen series, and Annie is a park ranger. I'm pretty sure. And so we are following her basically throughout the whole series and kind of reconnecting with an ex and what's going to happen there, trying to find out answers of what happened to her sister a number of years ago. And so that's kind of what the series has been following, but each book has also had its own mystery happening in addition to like the stuff going on in Annie's personal life. And this would complete the series for me. Now, the reason I picked these 3 books as options, as possibilities, because these are the only 3 left on my 26 and 26 that have law enforcement characters in them. So that is why they're these 3. So yeah, so that is everything for today's video. Please let me know if you are participating in my reading challenge for the year. And do you have a book picked out for law enforcement characters? And I just realized I forgot to tell you which ones would also double up and fit the title in capitals. Oops, see, that phone call really threw me off. So for me, Everywhere to Hide, Nightfall, and Break of Day, all 3 of them. A lot of suspense books have the title in caps. A Distant Shore, The Killing Tide, The Silver Shadow, sort of. No, it wasn't. Unknown Threat, Among the Innocent, Standoff, Point of Danger. As I said, a lot of suspense. Okay, let's look at the non-suspense ones. The Hope of Azure Springs, Fairest of Heart. Oh, The Gilded Lady. That didn't look capital in a minute. The Women of Oak Ridge. That one does not. And that one does not. So that is all of them that I showed you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.